Hey kids, Inverted Cow here, and welcome back to Empyrion multiplayer. We are here on the Wolves server. Again, it is a fairly quiet day. Magic, Sisanix, and Blighted are the only players on again. I seem to be able to log on when practically nobody is around, and that's part of the reason why I am going to not be continuing with the Wolves multiplayer server after this season. Rumor has it that uh, 8 is going to be dropping soon. Version 8 will be dropping soon, and with it will be coming yet another server wipe. So, what I have done, and let's get myself oriented. What I have done is I have posted to friends only a blueprint of the Tiger's Claw in its current position, or condition, I guess you could say. We'll jump into here. I'll take you a quick little flyby. I'll show you what we have going on here. This is probably the biggest survival build I have ever attempted. I did not do this in creative. This was done strictly in survival. I have to thanks to Only Coop for all of his help with this. As you can see, it is a huge ship. To actually try to build this myself is probably just crazy. Oops. I hate the lighting in space. Let's try doing a flyby down the other side, shall we? This is basically the largest size you can build a ship at all. This is all entirely combat steel. There is very little actual components in here apart from the core. It is very unfinished. As you can see, there are still gaps in the wing where the rough skeleton is laid out, and the whole interior is completely unfinished. The backside is completely unfinished. I can probably actually fly right through this. I have started skinning most of the deck, but not all of it. The runway is large. The hangar deck is huge. It's basically the hangar deck runs the full length of the runway. There is nothing inside the ship. Like, there's nothing's finished. These are not finished. There's some decorations, a lot of decorations that this ship needs. Tons of lighting. This combat bridge isn't done. None of the interior bridging, none of the crew quarters, none of the things that would be normally on a vessel of this size is finished. And it's simply, this ship has become more than I am capable of building. That's the bit and biscuit there, just to give you an idea of the size of this ship. It's just immense. I had a lot of fun with this build up to this point, but basically, because the inactivity of this server, for one, and two, the amount of time I have to play, I cannot coordinate with any players to actually do anything because I don't have time literally with real life to actually get onto the game and do anything for more than an hour or two a week. Um, this is sat mostly dormant for a large portion of the time uh, in the last month now. Literally just completely dormant. Only has built this station up very nicely. He's had a lot of fun on the server, but I think even he's getting bored because he logs on and there's nobody's on. I'm never here. Nobody else is here. Nobody else plays. Um, that kind of thing. And that's usually fairly typical with this server whenever we get close to an update, as with most servers as they get close to updates. Um, Personally, I have really enjoyed my time on the Wolves server. If you really like to have a challenging player versus environment game, this is it, because the PvP that was on this game doesn't exist anymore. Players do not fight each other very often. There is some pirate activity that we have to play with. I have suggested a pure combat only player versus player faction that literally does not mine, it doesn't farm, it doesn't do anything. It goes out and it raids and destroys player ships. Um, and they're capable of completely harvesting player ships down to the last ingot if they felt like it. That idea has, as far as I know, been rejected completely by Wolf. Um, Basically, he just said nope. He doesn't want to have the storyline that we had started at the end of version 5. He doesn't want to have that continue. And I really thought that was too bad because it's something that is needed. He wants to have an extreme server. Well, he's got extreme player versus environment server. I mean, everything on the server is good and a lot of really challenging POIs. I love the POIs that we have. Some of the ones, I mean, there was no way you could beat them with yourself. You had to be in a team, and you had to go in and expect to die a lot. Unfortunately, for the mercenary faction, that is not exactly prudent. I have a faction of myself and one other player, only Coop, who has really been a huge, huge, huge help this time through. Really hope to play with him again in the future, but I'm sorry, this server just doesn't have the life that it should. For a server that supposedly has upwards of hundreds of players on it, it's not there. But I've released the Tiger's Claw blueprint to public or to friends only. If you want to take this blueprint and finish it, continue working on it in creative, have some fun with it, please do so. Let me know what you've done with it. I'd love to see some versions of it that you have completed. The basic hull, like I said, the basic hull is laid out. It's square blocks for the most part right now. It's still all square blocks. It's still all raw and unfinished. There's a lot of angle work to be done, a lot of unfinished corners, and absolutely nothing has been painted. I'm going to include a couple of screenshots of the original blueprint that I was working from so that you can compare with some of the original plans that I had, if you can call it plans. It was basically, there was 2 pictures, 2 images. I have posted them on other videos. I'm going to post them on this video as well. But there we have it. That's the Tiger's Claw. This is probably the last or second last episode I'm going to be doing on the Wolves server. There is rumor that Spange is actually gearing up to do something else, but I haven't been able to actually talk to him at all as to if, when, or what. Um, if you do build on this ship, if you take a copy of it and actually build with it, be aware there are random pink blocks located all over the place if you encounter them, like these. Um, these are blocks that were meant to be deleted. Basically, when you see the size of the ship, you will see the problem I have with building on it. The size literally makes it so that when you're working in mirror mode, because it is symmetrical, when you're working in mirror mode, you don't want to fly over to this side to delete two blocks because the computer has glitched. So I've painted them and then I left them. So you'll see that a lot. You'll also see some blocks laid out where I did counting and layouts. Those have not been retextured yet. I had hoped to actually completely skin this out, finish all the angles and angling on the outside thing, but I can't. Between the glitch, the lag on my computer, the lag on the server, and other things like that, it's really not practical for me to do. So there we have it. Whoops. I'm probably going to end here, say thanks all for watching. I hope to see you on the finale of the Wolves server. Just wanted to show off what was going on with this build. The number of hours that has gone into this build up to this point, I cannot even begin to count. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope you, if you do actually take it and build it, please let me know what you've done with it. I'd love to see some finished products, some modifications, that kind of thing. It is very, very raw, very, very rough, and very unfinished. As you can see, large sections of block just undone. But thanks all for watching, kids. I'll see you on the next episode, or the last episode. And good night for now.